There's something I've come to really appreciate about summer. It's the season for thoughtful leisure. It's important for a true gentleman's life. For me, that means working on the land I live on, doing something with my hands, but also with purpose and history behind it. Today I'm sharing 3 garden projects I've taken on this summer, each inspired by travel, by reading, and by family tradition. Along the way, I'll share the process I used to plan a more elegant shade garden, how a simple summer ritual can connect us to generations past, and how something as delicate as a rose can carry a legacy. Whether you're designing your own garden or simply looking for a meaningful summer tradition, I hope you'll find ideas here worth borrowing. This summer, the first project I really committed to was reworking my shade garden. It's always been a bit of a patchwork. Plants that were what I called dots of green that tolerated low light but didn't create much order. I wanted a sense of structure, something more elegant and more intentional. I started not in the dirt, but with ideas. Over the years, I've picked up some of these classic gardening books from England and France and colonial Williamsburg in the US, and each one is filled with thoughtful designs rather than just trends. So I used these books as reference books, studying layout principles, the symmetry of French gardens, the clipped evergreens of the English countryside, and the practical, scaled-down beauty of colonial American plots. At the same time, I took slow drives through some well-tended neighborhoods nearby, photographing gardens that echoed the same grace on smaller scales. And these books and snapshots came together in a single concept sheet I created for my landscaping crew, something visual and purposeful. So using these images, we decided on a parterre design using boxwoods softened with fern along an existing stone path. And I brought order that was previously a loose connection of greenery. The landscaper brought some great ideas too. I didn't want to ditch my old fig tree. I actually rooted that from a clipping from an old family tree, long story. But we wanted to make the boxwoods go around the border of the tree since I didn't want to dig it up. So to keep the symmetry, we did the same thing on the opposite side, even though there's nothing there. I really could not be any happier with the way this turned out. Even the mondo grass between the stepping stones is going to look so enchanting when it grows together. Few sticks to pick up after a windstorm we had. The takeaway here is that looking at those photos in the books that I showed you, and even cruising the neighbors' yards, helped me get an idea of what I really appreciated, and it helped my landscaper get inside my mind a little bit. Can you see me under this big hat? Anyway, it helped the landscaper get inside my head. And if it's a DIY project, the photos or what you appreciate in your community can be a big help for you as you map it out yourself. My second project is simpler, but deeply rooted in memory. Each summer I grow tomatoes. It's something my grandfather did, something his father did too. I learned the basics from him as a boy. It's really quite simple. Basically, water it and they will live. But it's something that's become a ritual that returns for me year on year. There's nothing like slicing a tomato still warm from the vine, adding it to a salad on a summer afternoon. It's just more than a flavor. It's a connection to where I came from. It's a reminder that tending to the land doesn't need to be grand to be meaningful. Sometimes the most lasting traditions are planted in very, very small ways. If you're new to gardening, start with an edible plant that holds meaning to you, something a parent or grandparent loved, maybe something you tried while traveling. Tomatoes are a classic choice because they reward care with fairly immediate pleasure. The third project I've been working on is a bit more personal. I've been learning to propagate roses, something I'd always admired but never successfully attempted. This year I did succeed in rooting a rose cutting from a bush that once grew in my late grandfather's garden. I don't have photos of his garden to show you, but I remember the way it felt, the quiet care he gave each plant, the groomed layout of all the beds, and the pride he took with every bloom. Now this small bush sits in a pot. It's not big enough to go in the ground yet. It's healthy and it's growing. It just recently put out this first bud. It's a subtle reminder of where I came from and of what can be passed down without needing to be spoken. I hope he would be proud that I rooted one successfully. If you have access to a loved one's garden or even a rose bush that holds meaning, try propagating a cutting. You can actually do this with many different kinds of plants, and there's plenty of information online to tell you how. It's a small act of preservation that carries far more than simply beauty. These three projects, though all different, are part of the same story. They're about enjoying summer not as a break from structure, but as a season to bring order and meaning to our surroundings. Whether drawing from the books I've read or the places I've traveled or the people I remember, each task helped me build something personal and lasting. Because leisure, when it's thoughtful, becomes more than relaxation. It becomes part of who we are. If you've been thinking about a summer project of your own, whether in the yard, the house, or just in your habits, consider drawing inspiration from places you've loved, books you've read, or stories from your own family. I certainly do believe personally that when leisure has structure, it becomes something you can carry with you. Thanks for being here.